Just finished up our event, and we got this cool looking car to drive around. How do you like it? How do you like it, Brett?
This whole thing is all right. You know, it's nice if you're into Rolls Royces. Very comfortable.
So, if you guys don't know by now, we like to just cruise around in nicer cars when we're in Florida. But really good day, and just finished the event. So one thing I want to talk to you guys about real quick was next year, 2024. We are changing up the game, I guess you could say. Doing the whole direct lending now. That's going to be a huge game changer. Working on stuff more so with Kevin Harrington. If you don't know, original shark on Shark Tank. Been working with him since 2018. Starting to do more things with Damon John, being part of his mastermind, trying to get more involved in his network, of course. We have more plans for next year. We're doing a lot more guaranteed stuff to help people make money going into 2024. I put out some feelers asking people, if I work with you one-on-one, would you be interested if I worked with you one-on-one to basically build your business for you? Whether you have a business, whether you want us to provide a business for you, obviously we have to learn more about you first, figure out your skill set. Because here's why, hanging out with Damon 2023, being a part of his mastermind and meeting the people that he introduces to, the other people in that same room as us, what we learned is that we don't charge enough money. It's really what we really learned. And I know you probably think I'm bullshitting. No, I'm dead serious. Like, people are charging what we charge literally thousands of dollars for. People are charging $25,000, $50,000. And I'm sitting there like, holy shit. And I learned this a long time ago, but I just never really put this stuff in place. And when I tell my stories to people, like, oh yeah, this guy, I helped him get to 7 figures. I helped this other person get to an additional 7 figures. And I have multiple of those stories of me helping people get to 7 figures. And I start to realize, and I talk to other people that have big names in the industry, and we meet with them and talk to them, and we're like, this person doesn't know any more than we do. And I think, to be honest, I actually have more success with them in my career than they do. And people say to me, like, why don't you provide a higher ticket service, but do more, one-on-one, get more involved? And I've always stayed away from that just because, to be honest, I just didn't want to, spend the time on it. But it's really cool when you can actually really help people, right? So, but again, there has to be a price for that because there's only so much time I have in a day and I have so much other stuff to do. So these are things we're looking to just add for next year and obviously just do more for what we're doing. So what do you got to say, Zach?
Yeah, well, 2024 is obviously going to be an extremely, I think it's already successful in a sense, based on the relationships that we're forging, but more importantly, the strategic relationships that we're forging and how we can use it to obviously grow revenue and partner with people. For you guys, man, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys have seen a lot of our journey. You guys have seen growth. You guys have seen other people come in at whatever level and where they're at now. I always say, kind of when things are tightening up and things like that, it's you got to get back to what works. And at the end of the day, I think what works always is people. What I mean by that is the strength is in people and in relationships. So I think in 2024, going back to what Phil's saying, if you have the ability to work with somebody, one-on-one, you have the ability to come to a mastermind, you have the ability to come to an event, you have the ability to have more face time, I would say that should be your number one goal in 2024. I will tell you, when regulation happened in my industry, it took 1 year to basically, for my revenue to drop about 50% because I couldn't generate business the way that I could before. And it took me a year, and in about 8 months out of that year, I was trying to do everything that I could personally. And then the remaining of the year, that's when I actually met Phil. And then I met an individual, a person, and a network that ultimately helped me get back to where I needed to be and skyrocketed my business. And so I think a lot of people, sometimes they're looking for the next business model, they're looking for the next best idea, they're looking for the best trick or trade that's going to get them to the next level. But what they fail to realize is sometimes you should just be looking for the next person, the next network, the next event, and those relationships that you need to forge. So I think, in all honesty, 2024, that really needs to be your focus, because it's our focus, it's been our focus, and that's what's actually providing us new things to do in 2024. It all came from relationships. So that would be my advice to you guys.
It's actually a good way to put it, because that's 100% true. I mean, everything that we've been doing for years is always up build a network, right? I attached myself to Kevin Harrington. He attached himself to me, which also attached himself to Kevin Harrington. You know, the whole Damon John stuff that we're trying to do now. And just everybody else. There's so many other people out there. You know, I know we talk about, you know, the bigger names, whatever, but there's people out there that are not famous that have helped us out hugely over the last couple of years, you know, just through War Room Mastermind and, you know, some of the people from the Rise Nation Mastermind with Damon. So yeah, I mean, that's a really good way to look at it, is like, put yourself around the right people, put the effort into find the right people, because then everything else will just fall into place. And that's really what we do every single day. You know, it would be so easy for me if I worked, everybody that I've ever worked with very closely has always been more successful from when they were the day of that they met me. And it's so easy for me to help anybody just achieve a higher level of success, but it has to be the right person. It's like an Olympic coach can't just work with anybody. It has to be the right person that's willing to put the effort in to become an Olympian, right? Not everyone has that mindset. It's not in their skill set. So it's got to be the right person. And I've worked with over 10,000 companies and individuals over my entire career. Just, you know, companies as large as IBM, AT&T, HP, Intel. You know, when I was doing a lot more consulting, and obviously a lot more individuals in like Loan Broker Network with what we do now, and then, you know, all the other stuff I've done over the years. So at the end of the day, it's not hard, you know, to make money. You just have to have the right mindset and work with the right people. Unless you can figure it out on your own. But if you can't figure it out on your own, then obviously put yourself around the right people. But even if you can figure it out on your own, like we have ourselves, being with the right people is just going to accelerate that. So but I guarantee you that if you listen to me and do exactly what I tell you to do in whatever business we figure out, there's no reason why you wouldn't have success, because it's a very simple model that we can duplicate on our own. There's always going to be ups and downs. There's going to be good and bad years. It is what it is, right? That's fine. But once you learn the concept and what you need to do to bob and weave in the business world, and you have the people you can bounce questions off of. I'll give you an example. I paid Roland Frazier, who you probably don't know, but who's a beast. He's partners with Damon and Ryan Dice from digitalmarket.com. They ran War Room Mastermind. Now they do Rise Nation, and they do other stuff. I paid him $25,000 just to get 6 hours of his time, but he actually solved my problem in 1 hour. I technically still do have 5 hours, which I'll bank for now. But in 1 hour, he solved everything. And you're probably like, you paid $25,000 for an hour? Yeah, I did, because I made my money back. You know, the return on investment was there. You know, whether someone's saving you from making a really bad decision or they're helping you make the right decision, obviously making the money back. And once you have that mindset that you pay to play and invest in people and invest in that type of relationship, once you understand that that's what you really need to be doing, that's when you'll really accelerate, because none of us can do it all on our own, right? So anyway, all right, I'll leave. Any last words? My arm's killing me.
Yeah, man. So hopefully we'll see you guys in January.
Yeah, we'll be in Vegas in January, probably around January 13th, so plan that out.
I feel like it's been some time since we've been in Vegas.
Yeah, thank God. That place destroys me. I lose years off my life when I go there.
We'll see you guys. We're definitely implementing some new things on the mastermind, so can't wait to obviously see you guys there.
Yeah, be good. Have a good weekend.
Take care.